How are we going, everyone? Welcome to Hogs Live's vlog. Vishwajit Singh, thanks very much for joining me. Sam, how are you going again? And Evil King, oh no, Nihal, hey, very long since I've seen you too. All right, what a game yesterday. Let's get cracking into the talking points. Roll bumper, please, Shubs. Righty-o, controlling the moment in finals game. First, they wanted to get a score on the board. They didn't get that score on the board. Pakistan got early wickets in the power play. The run out just going in to the seventh over. Just before that, that was a big momentum change for New Zealand and allowed the Pakistan spinners to control the next 4 overs before they went into the 10-over break. New Zealand only going out 5.9 runs an over at that stage. Whereas we look at Pakistan, New Zealand have got the best defensive bowling attack in the power play in T20 cricket going around out of the top teams at the moment. Pakistan are very ordinary in the power play, especially chasing, going out a run rate of around 6.5 and over. So the game was in New Zealand's favour, but Babar Azam and Rizwan attacked the New Zealand bowlers. The New Zealand bowlers weren't bowling test match length. They were trying to get wickets, bowl full length, bowl short length. They just couldn't control the game. And then as they came out of the power play, there was big runs scored on those final 2 overs. Then the 2 New Zealand spinners, when the conditions were suiting them in at the SCG, were under pressure and they couldn't bring Pakistan back. So well done to Pakistan. You won the moment in the power play when things were against you. If you look at the stats from the previous scenarios, and the spinners stood up, controlling those 4 overs between over 7 and 10. That's where Pakistan won the game. Well done to Pakistan. Next slide there, please, Shubs. Talking point. Right, undecided. What I mean by undecided is going back to controlling the moment. When you go into a game, you've got to make sure you've got clear strategy. You know exactly what you want to do. And I looked at the New Zealand bowling yesterday. They wanted to go full in the power play. They want to utilise the swing like they always do. But then they're looking at the Pakistan lineup. And the Pakistan lineup, if you look out bowling test match length out the top of off stump, have got the most sluggish area, and New Zealand didn't know, or it seemed as though they were a bit confused. They were undecided whether just to hit that test match length or try and bowl full. Ferguson came on, he was looking to go full and short. You can't do that, even with express pace. A team like Pakistan, you've got to go to their weakness, and New Zealand didn't do that. So well done to Pakistan. They're flying through, and they're going to be tough to beat out the MCG moving forward. But we better get on to the next talking point, because I know there's that love this game and are looking forward to it. Shubs, come on, roll it up. What have we? We've got India taking on England. Now, the big moment for me in this is it's India's game to lose. Wood seems as though he's not playing. That is 90% sure. They've got Jordan coming in next. Sheer pace. At Adelaide, you need that sheer pace against Surya Kumar Yadav and Kohli. You want that short pitch bowling, trying to get them to play the pull shot to the short boundary. Matches to the longer boundary with those top edges, having less chance of going for 6, like the shorter grounds that are straight here in Australia. So not having Wood is a huge. He going to play? If he doesn't play, well, India can expose that middle order of England, because Bhuvneshwar Kumar is the best bowler in the first 4 overs of a power play. He's got most wickets. He's one of the most economical, and he's also got Butler out 5 times in a limited space of time. So that is the big matchup. If he gets Butler out within those first couple of overs, then all of a sudden that middle order is exposed to the new ball. And Arsdeep Singh has been strong in that department too. So Butler against Bhuvneshwar Kumar in that middle over is the key. And India have to bat second also to make it comfortable, because when they bat second, they also have a stronger power play period through there. And Virat Kohli, as we know, finishes the game off perfectly. And the other one there, I talked about it yesterday, Sam Curran out the back end. He'll be targeted by Hardik Pandya and the Surya Kumar Yadav in those final 4 overs. If that's the matchup, India are going to blow England away. Okay, let's get into the questions, please, Shubs. 5 minutes, you beauty, or 6 minutes. We've got that out of the way. First question up there, please, mate. Here we go. Here it comes. Harry Grell, thanks very much for joining me. Sammy, how are you going? In relation to tonight's match, if Milan is going to be ruled out, how does England go about choosing their batting combination 1 to 6? Does Salt come in due to his experience out the Australian ovals? Yes, or Adelaide Oval. Good point there. I got that little acronym. For me, if Milan is not going to play, I think they've got to have Ben Stokes batting at number 3. Ben Stokes, if you look at his T20 record, is not that flash. But what he can do is do the Milan job where he takes a few balls to get used to it. And as we see him in red ball cricket, when he's got a few balls under his belt, that's when he starts to dominate. So for me, you have Stokes coming in at 3, and he's a left-hander as well. So you're not losing too much from Milan, and you have Phil Salt batting down the bottom order. So I think Salt can do a great job in that back end, and I'd like to have Salt coming in those middle overs and trying to attack the spinners too with that short Adelaide Oval boundary. Because that is a key factor today. Great question there, Sammy. Great to see you again. Shubs, let's get to the next question. Akash Bose. Now, when I say Shubs is out the back end helping me there. Hog, sir, can you put some lights on today's wicket in Adelaide, that how it will behave? There's been a few games there. So for me, Adelaide has been one of those wickets which with a drop-in wickets that we have here in Australia, where I have really enjoyed the games that I've played. It's got a bit for the seamers with the new ball. The spinners can get a little bit of grip as well. And the batsmen can get rewarded for good strokes. A lot of batsmen get tempted to hit to the short boundaries, but it's a quick outfield. And if you hit straight when the field's up, you get good value for your shots. And you don't have to go for the short boundary square. You can still play straight, but you're trying to hit wide mid on and wide mid off, and it's a little bit longer on the short boundaries, but you still have a lot shorter area to hit the boundaries than the bigger ovals around Australia. So for me, sometimes batsmen get caught up playing in the square boundaries. But if you're bowling, you want to attack the stumps as a spinner, as a quick. And when you're attacking the stumps and players are looking for that short boundary, all of a sudden your wicket-taking opportunity goes skyrocket. So Bhuvneshwar Kumar, I've mentioned him. Wokes is a big player for England here, is getting that ball on a good area where it seems a little bit with that new ball, but moves in the air, and that's where you create wicket-taking opportunities. For me, India have to have 2 slips with Bhuvneshwar Kumar bowling to Butler and Hales in that earlier period because of the seam and swing. Hopefully, Akash, that suits or answers your question. Hey, guys, thanks very much for joining me here. This is great. Vibor Shrivastava Entertainment. Vibor Shrivastava Entertainment. And I like that photo too, mate. Bit of a shade of dark, a bit of a shade of light. Good. So do you think KL Rahul starting slow puts pressure on Rohit Sharma? Yes. Look, both batsmen have to work as a partnership. But I think the way that India have set up their batting order is that they want to get through that power play relatively unscathed, and they want to protect the likes of Surya Kumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya to be able to come in through those middle overs or later on in those middle overs to get a bit of time to power at home, at the back end, but also they want one of those top three to bat right through. And if they bat second, Virat Kohli generally does that very well. I think where they get caught up and looking at the stats is when they bat first, they take a little bit more time up front. They're not as aggressive. They're a little bit more conservative. When they bat second and they know the total, then they play with a little bit more freedom. And I think this is where the game is going to be won, and another part of the game where it's going to be won and lost. England, if they win the toss, they have to bowl first. They have to chase tonight, because when you talk about Rahul and Rohit Sharma, when they're chasing, their strike rate skyrockets when they're batting second, knowing the total that they've got to chase. And as I said, they play with a clearer mind. So, Vibor, yes, KL Rahul does put pressure on Rohit Sharma when he's a little bit slow, but he's made 250s in this tournament. He's just starting to find a little bit of form. And at Adelaide Oval, I think you'll see KL Rahul taking the pressure off Rohit Sharma today with a little heavier strike rate. So watch out for that space. But good observation. I love the observations of everyone here. Sid Mansour, thanks very much for joining me. Next question, please, Shubs. Just looking at the list of comments coming down. Sammy again. Talk about Yuzi Chahal maybe replacing Axar Patel in the 11 tonight. Would you play someone who hasn't played a game in the tournament in a big game, semi-final or final? I would not bring Axar Patel in. Yuzi Chahal in. The simple fact is that Chahal, smaller, doesn't get much overspin. The Adelaide Oval doesn't bounce as much. And when a bowler doesn't get extra bounce on the Adelaide Oval, that's where it becomes easier to sweep. So that's why I wouldn't bring Yuzi in. Also, Axar Patel just gives you a little bit of comfort at the back end in the batting department. He's not as good as Jadeja in that all-round capability, but the thing is he can still handle the bat, and his height with his left arm spin, I think, can create havoc with England. And the other thing there with Adelaide as well, Ashwin can get a little bit of overspin. Axar Patel doesn't really get the overspin. He bowls some undercutters, and sometimes it skids on at Adelaide Oval. And with that little extra bounce, with his height and that skid on, trying to sweep him, he's going to have more opportunities of getting LBWs and bowled on this wicket. So that's why I'd have Axar Patel in my team instead of Yuzi Chahal. That is a great question, Sam, and I really love it, how there's a lot of thought in these questions coming through. Shubs, got the next one. Sid Mansour. Hi, Hog. Who will win today? Blue team, it'll be India. Definitely India today. That's what I'm thinking, and I think it's going to be an India-Pakistan final. And I know going into that last game of the Super 12 season, or the part of the series, Holland were playing South Africa. No one expected South Africa to beat or get beaten by Holland. But after that first game between India and Pakistan at the start of the tournament, the hype, the entertainment that they provided, it went right down to the final wire. And for me, it just has that feeling that India and Pakistan are going to play in the final, and it's going to be a ripper. It's going to be a ripper. We need more of this rivalry in international cricket. Okay, Shafa Ilahi. Shafa Ilahi. Oh, I love pronouncing these names. It will be 1992 World Cup over again. The world is coming down and the flags are up. Yes, I think so. And I just think Pakistan have got a huge chance of winning this game or this final. I'm not picking who's going to win or not, but just that momentum of Pakistan. The consistency of India, it's just going to clash where both of them are sort of at the peak. So India's at the back end of the peak where they're still on a real high. They're determined, they're disciplined, they've got the performances under their belt. Their main players are performing and everyone's on song. Whereas Pakistan were a bit shaky early on, but all of a sudden They've just got a little bit of energy, and that victory of the Netherlands over South Africa, you could just see their whole body language just loosen up as they played Bangladesh, knowing that they've got another life up their sleeve to stay in this tournament. So for me, just the energy of both teams is at the right height for a perfect final coming ending this T20 World Cup. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm so excited about today. Okay, next question, please, Shubs. Which team at this time? If we're talking about England and India, England would and Milan in their team for balance, and with their structure, the way that they've played the game over the last year or two. So they've been fairly consistent with their lineup. When you have someone like Milan go, that's just opens up a lot of holes in your batting lineup. You have to make shift and give someone a different role, and you don't really want that in finals. Without Wood, they don't have that extra pace. Wood's been the most consistent fast bowler in this tournament at Adelaide, where it doesn't get up as much as other grounds, and people want to take on that pull shot when it's short. It's very difficult against that pace. And going back to Milan, just those change of roles that I mentioned there, I want to go back to KL Rahul because at the start of the tournament, I didn't think he should be in this lineup. I just thought Virat Kohli probably should open the batting, and they should have more of an aggressive batting lineup in that middle part of their batting order. But the thing is with KL Rahul, what I've loved about his career is the way that he's been able to chop and change the roles that he's been asked to do in this Indian team, because he wasn't a mainstayer. He was in and out. They wanted him out 4. They wanted him to open. They wanted him to bat 3. Every now and then they wanted him to keep as well. And that just shows resilience. It shows adaptability. It shows how much of a team man he is, and how much of a valuable member to the unit he is as well. So for me, he's a very important cog, and it's great to see him get rewarded for his presence in that lineup. So yeah, good question there that made me go down a different path as well. Have you got the next question there? Here we go. Oh, that's all. That's all. Okay, guys. It was short and sharp today with the live. Thank you very much for joining me. India will win today against England. It's going to be a very easy win for them. I think Bhuvneshwar Kumar is going to get 3 early wickets. That'll set the tempo for India to take the game away. And we can sit here on Saturday morning and talk about the big game, India versus Pakistan in final, if it does occur. All right. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the game.